Cosplay Stitch and Seam. I'm Pannon.
I'm V-Fire.
And I'm David.
Hello, y'all.
Hello.
How you been? You eat lots of turkey or hams?
I ate so much food.
I made Duchess potatoes.
What is that?
So instead of mashed potatoes, it's basically mashed potatoes, but then you put Parmesan in instead of like cream. And then you put it in a pastry piping bag, and then you make it into a little thing, throw it in the oven, and you get like these crispy mashed potatoes, but then like they're still pillowy on the inside. It was very interesting.
You had me at potatoes. That just yes, all of that
sounds so tasty.
It was an interesting experience. I think since it was the first time I've ever made it, it probably could be better, but I don't know. I'll make it again. We'll see.
Nice.
I at one of the turkey dinners that I had, which was many over the
7.
weekend. My brother-in-law goes, he's like, my friend's always like, no, turkey dinners are always so bland and boring. And he just goes, it's probably because, your family doesn't cook good.
Oh. I saw this TikTok of like season like your until your ancestors say stop, and the guy opens up the seasoning and then just wafts his hand over it without shaking any of the spices out.
Oh my god!
And he goes, "That's more than enough," and then
no.
The real secret is alcohol. I got one of those like injector things. So you like inject the whatever you're cooking your bird or meat in, and you just like inject it and baste it every so often.
That sounds delicious. Oh, that sounds so good.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good. But
my poor mother found out that I don't have cooking supplies. So like as we're cooking, she's like, oh shoot, we need this. We thought we had everything until we got to the gravy. And I was like, I don't have flour. And she's like, well, what about cornstarch? And I was like, Mom, I don't have that either.
Wow.
Luckily, my friend Tifa was out shopping. So she comes over with a unlabeled white bag of flour. In front of my family, and goes, I got the goods.
Nice.
Nice. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's the best Thanksgiving.
Well, if our listeners at home got the goods and want to share, you can do that a number of ways. The first is our email, which is cosplaystitchandseam@gmail.com, or
you can go through the website, cosplaystitchandseam.com, and fill out our contact forms there, or
go to the Facebook page.
Always so enthusiastic.
I
should make that one of the sound buttons at this rate.
Save your voice a little. Sorry.
Go to the Facebook page, and while you're on the Facebook page, share what you are working on. We've got our groups for Work in Progress Wednesdays. We would love to see what you're working on, and so would our fantastic community. If you're not a big fan of Facebook, we totally get it. On our website, we have a link to our Discord. Come join our Discord. New people are joining all the time. We're talking about all of our favorite things. We're talking about, in the anime channel, Blue Eye Samurai, which is top-notch quality, animated and choreographed by, like, got a person who does like actual fight scenes in movies, so it looks really good. So come on over there. We've got all the same great stuff, all of the great same people who want to see you excel and grow. And while you are on the internet, if you want to help out the show, share the podcast with a friend, leave us a review wherever they let you do that. That helps the algorithm very, very much. If you've got a few dollars burning a hole in your pocket, you want to help out the show with paying for the website, paying for the hosting fees and all of those things, we do have a Patreon, patreon.com/cosplaystitch. For $3 a month, you get a shout out on the show every single episode. And once a month at $5 a month, you can join our
Cosplay Chronicles.
Yeah.
I didn't jump that time.
You didn't jump that time. We play a D&D game. It's all cosplay themed. It's a great time. We have a lot of fun. We get to interact with you guys in real time. It's a blast, and we hope that you come and join us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do the thing.
Do the thing.
Somebody take this away from me.
Well, speaking of doing things, we have been doing this thing for a while now, haven't we?
So many episodes.
Oh, yeah.
So many episodes. In fact,
so many episodes, so many years.
We are coming up on our 200th episode. Can you believe that?
200 episodes. So
nice. So to celebrate, we've decided to do a live stream, and you are all invited. We're going to keep posting updates when we get closer to the date and time. We're about, 20 episodes away now?
As of this recording, we're 20 episodes away.
Oh man, it's getting so close. So we'll post more details as we get closer to that, but we have a lot of fun things planned for the live stream. It is not going to be privated on, as we usually do for Patreon and stuff. This will be open to everyone, and we want y'all to come, join in, have fun with us, and I'm excited.
Questions.
Holy crap, 200.
Yeah, 200.
200.
We've been talking about this for a little while now, just kind of theoretically of what we wanted to do. And I'm nervous about it because I don't have control. That's the teaser that I'm going to give is I don't have control over what's going to be happening. So I'm very interested to see how it goes down. We will have more details as to what time and what day we get there. But we are planning on it being an absolute blast.
Keep it on your radar.
Sweet. So we started with that hype, and now I gotta bring it back down for the episode.
Yeah.
Because this week we had a great suggestion from one of our listeners. Do you want to read it out, V-Fire?
Oh, I am all for that.
It's sad, but it's a good episode idea, so thank you.
It's a great one. So it's the cosplay that got away, and a huge shout out to Indiana Jolly for sending this because, one, this topic almost got away. Ha 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 ha. And Indiana had to send it again. So thank you for doing that. But I want to read out what they sent because it's very well thought out and just a really great intro to the topic as well as an example of what they're looking for. So have you ever had a brilliant idea for a creative costume that you were so excited about, but either time slipped by or for some other reason you have to abandon the idea completely? Or chances are you missed the opportune moment and you will never actually create that costume? Here's my example. For a long time now, I've wanted to cosplay Space Ace. I've searched online for years, and I've never seen anyone ever do the costume, or if they have, they've also blocked Google from ever finding it. It's a little obscure, but anyone who was ever a fan of the original cartoon video game Dragon's Lair, booyah, would instantly recognize Don Bluth's follow-up work with the classic arcade game of the 80s. The hero of the game is Space Ace. Tall, handsome, all muscles, blonde surfer haircut, very stereotypical sci-fi outfit for the time, but he's been hit by the Infanto Ray, which is a device by the evil Borf that can turn anyone into the child version of themselves. I love this. So Space Ace's younger version of himself as a kid by the name of Dexter. He's young, thin, quirky, awkward, as we were all entering our teen years. With the help of a wristwatch that fills up with energy, he can transform into Space Ace at various... By the way, Space Ace is in all caps every single time in this email. I love it. At various times throughout the game, which gave me the brilliant idea, that's also in all caps, idea of creating two costumes, one for me and one for my son. Together, we could both be both sides of the same character, and it would be hilarious for people to take photos with us so that we could pose the exact same way in two shots to see the before and after transformation. I was so jazzed to begin working on this idea and take it to Denver Comic-Con, Denver Fan Expo. It got renamed, but it was just as I was getting ready to start the process and purchase the tickets for the con, the pandemic happened. Everything was canceled. The idea was put on the back burner. And unfortunately, during that downtime, my son went into a growth spurt and shot up 2 feet taller.
Ooh, that's a big growth spurt.
Whoosh. Even though he's still kind of skinny, size difference between us isn't much at all anymore. He's not as kid-like as he once was, which really brings the original idea I had to a screeching halt. So I could easily do Space Ace by myself. It would be novel and fun, but it just wouldn't have the same wow effect of what I originally pictured or dreamed of. So that one. How about you folks? Any cosplays that never came to be and probably never will? And then they actually have another example where it's like fell out of love for the character that you wanted to cosplay, or a character suddenly becoming unpopular due to something scandalous in the media. So we'll kind of keep those in mind as we go through these. Or unable to achieve the look you're hoping for because it's too far-fetched of a design. Anyone want to go first? I can think of one already, but if someone else wants to go first.
Okay, I made a list. Because I am me, and I organize my cosplay to-do list in like neat little folders with references of all the characters from several different angles, and they're all labeled, and then like they're so detailed that I feel bad after I have either like if I've done them or I haven't, or I've lost the will to do it, then I still have all these really nice references and I don't want to delete them. So I still keep them all.
I just love how organized you are. Jeez.
So I just went through that like folder and was like, oh, okay, here's a handful. And I can remember like why each one didn't end up happening. So if you want me to go first while you like marinate on the ideas, I'm happy to do that.
Yeah. Do one at a time.
Yeah, we'll go one at a time for right now.
Yeah,
I'll go last.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me pick one. Okay, just because like tomorrow is like the anniversary of why I can't do, or why this one got away from me. The cosplay I wanted to do was Crom from Fire Emblem Awakening. I had bought the fabric. I had patterned out his ridiculous onesie. It's like fantasy onesie.
It's so weird.
It is. And I had that in my trunk when I was in that really bad car accident in 2014.
Oh, yeah.
And so it and one other costume, my Elsa, got covered in shattered glass and blood and all this lovely stuff. And after that, I just could not get myself to work on it again, even though I love Crom. He's like my favorite Fire Emblem character, but
no, that's fair. That's fair. Got away for a very
like pulled it out, and I was like, I cannot do that.
That's fair.
Oh, Panin.
I know that one's dramatic, so I have other ones that are less dramatic.
Most of mine are just because hyperfixation and attention span go in different ways a lot of the times for me.
Fair.
But one that got away for me was Fierce Deity Link. I had the pattern for the double helix blade. I still have it somewhere actually rolled up and kept safe because maybe one day I'll revisit it. I started making the armor, and I found out that I couldn't bend in it, and then I just never went back to making it. I ended up getting rid of my mock-up, and it was just one of those where just too many other things kept happening. So I would go and do those instead, and Fierce Deity just kept getting put more and more on the back burner. And I wouldn't mind trying out building that today, especially with all the skills that I've learned compared to back then when I was still a beginner. Yeah. So that one's one of mine. Less traumatic, more lazy.
On the same vein, I have one. It is sitting in a bin right now. It is a Raven cosplay. I started working on it with my friend Ginny, and she provided the pattern. We were kind of modifying this cloak, and I was really excited about it. And then it got to a point where I realized I didn't know what else I was going to do with it besides the cloak. I have all of the material for the cloak to be finished. I have the pattern instructions still. I should really give those back to Ginny, but they're just sitting in that bin. It's been like I started working on it when we started this podcast.
Wow. Oh dang.
Yeah, it's been there for a while. So I just haven't gotten back to it because it's like it's bad. It like the edges is uneven. So like the left side is a little longer than the right side, and I don't have another plan for the rest of it because like I don't know what I was gonna do with like all of the other parts of the outfit. Was I going to do like a top? Was I going to do the leotard look that she's got? Like I didn't know what I was gonna do. I just wanted to make the cloak apparently, and I just put the cart before the horse, I think is what this phrase is, and I had no idea what else I was going to do. So that's one of the main reasons that I haven't like continued on with that one cosplay.
That is fair.
Yeah.
I have definitely been in the like hyper focused headset of I'm like, oh, I really want to do this part of this costume, and then I'll do that, and then I will just lose all interest in the rest of it.
You even offered to help me with it, Panon, at one point, specifically like, hey, if you want help with like the gems or whatnot, like I've got some cool resin, like silicone molds. And I was like, that's so cool. I love this idea. And that was the last thing I think I remember like working on it, like in my head. I was like, oh, gems, that's a great idea. Yeah. And then it just like, it just
dang it.
flew right out of my head.
All
right. You got another one, Panon?
I do. So in the Fire Emblem vein, I also have Camilla that I know I have talked about doing on and off even on the podcast for a bit. Because I like her a lot. But so this one got away from me because gosh, I was so stuck on her like bodice. The way I had made it, like I was happy with it, but like I had learned some newer, better techniques on how I could have done it. And so my brain wouldn't let me keep going on the way I felt was inferior. Like my brain was just like, no, why are you wasting time? It was, what is it? The lost time, lost cost fallacy thing. Where I'm like, well, I can't start completely over because I've already sunk all this time in it when I should have just started over while I still had like the passion and drive to do that one.
Yeah.
So I mean, I should get back on it, but I haven't since I kind of like scrapped the whole bodice so I could start it over and then never did.
Yeah, I know that feeling all too well.
Yeah.
And I had like her axe all cut out, and I had like all these pieces of it, and I just went not a couple years back. I think it was just last New Year's. I was just cleaning out the craft room, and I was like, I do not feel passion for this. It does not spark joy anymore. So, so I got
that's a mood.
I know, but I still have the wig for it, and she has like some cute, like special. Like, what are they called when they're for like a specific event in the mobile games? She has some of those where they're like holiday outfits.
Ooh,
that look fun.
There you go. Do one of those.
What do you got next, VFire?
So way back when I had, I do all these cosplays also with small children, my siblings. And nowadays I can't do the same things that I did with them back then. Where like, Bentley would be young Link and I'd be adult Link, and things like that. But I wanted to throw like a little bit more of a positive spin on this. It's like, okay, now that my brothers are both over 6 feet tall, I should have them do if they want to. Like my younger brother loves Linebeck from I Love Linebeck. And he dressed up as Linebeck once, but it wasn't really like my best work. I could make that jacket so much better now and do it again, but now he's taller than me and I can be Toon Link.
That's true.
Yeah, and my other brother could be Ganondorf.
Oh my god.
Because he's so tall. And he loves Ganondorf.
Yes.
But
I'm
yeah.
here for this.
As far as like some that have gotten away with that, like there's been a few like with friends where like I'll just get super excited with them to do like a series or something like that. There was that year where like food fantasy was huge, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So there was what was his name? He had the 2 really awesome swords, and I really wanted to make him for the swords. I never played food fantasy. My friends would just post tons of pictures in our group chat, and I would just be like, and I like that one and that one. It was steak.
Oh yeah.
Steak. I wanted to be that piece of meat. It was good. But yeah, I had plans for that all laid out, but never got around to it because it ended up just kind of costing too much, and I had other things that were in the works at the time, so just never got around to it. Got away.
Yeah.
David.
I'm gonna pull a very obscure anime out, and I'm honestly be surprised if either of you have heard about Karas, Karas.
I've heard of it, but I haven't watched it.
It was a 6-episode miniseries that was like very, very like so under the radar, and then they like combined them into 2 movies, part 1 and part 2, and it was one of those like, hey, your uncle knows you like them Japanese cartoons, and he saw this at Costco, and he got this for you for your birthday. And I was obsessed because like this was something so new and no one knew about it. So I thought I was being like really hipster and cool about it. This is like 2003, 2006, somewhere around there. And I just recently was like in my brain, like, I haven't thought about Karas in a while. I wonder if that holds up. And I was doing some digging and I was like, oh man, this like Raven themed armor is really, really dope. And it's got like lights along the edges of it. And I was like, oh, maybe I could do this. And like I've put it in my to cosplay idea bin. It is there. It's very, very cool. I'll send you like a picture of what I was looking at. And I started like looking at the action figures, and I started getting like screenshots from the movie. I was really excited about this idea, and then I was like, I got so many other projects that I'm doing right now that are not cosplay related. I don't know if I'd ever be able to get to this thing because I wouldn't say it's the most complex piece of armor, but it is a lot of armor.
Okay.
And then like the helmet alone is just like this intricate like bird thing with feathers under the neck, and like it's and again, every like gold line that you see in his armor is supposed to be a light up, and I was like, oh, LEDs would be really dope to try and figure out, really expand my horizons. And I continue to look at it and go, yeah, no, I'm not ready for this. I'm not there yet. I want to be there. It's not going to happen. Not right now.
Oh,
cool
man, that's
though.
cool.
Dang.
I love the buckles on the greaves on the legs.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Every like there's so many like cool little aspects of it. Like on his back, the thing that holds the scabbard is just a talon, like a 3-pronged talon just coming off of his back. So sick, right? Thank you.
That's cool.
But I'm also like obsessed with ravens and whatnot, so I think this is just like the coolest thing on the face of the planet.
Oh, heck yeah. This is very cool. Oh gosh, let's see. Okay, so speaking of, one of the things y'all mentioned was like not having enough like familiarity with canon and stuff like that to feel comfy cosplaying. And I think that's been true for a couple of these. I think the most prominent one for me was so I really like watching people play fighting games, but I am awful at the 1v1 fighting games.
They are so difficult. The combos
so
and
hard. I used to be good when I was a little 12-year-old playing Mortal Kombat 3 on my SNES. I knew all the fatality moves and all that stuff, but nowadays I have no idea. I cannot. But I still like watching people play them. I think they're fun to watch. I think they're interesting. And the more games like that have gone on, the more detailed backstories you get and all that fun stuff. So I've always kind of followed the canon for Guilty Gear. And one of the ones I've really liked is Elfelt. And she's this pink bunny girl looking character in a wedding dress, but she fights. And she has a big old bouquet on her dress with giant metal fixtures and things like that. And she's adorable. But I never felt like I was confident enough knowing the canon to have someone be oh, do you know her moveset? Do you know this? Because I'm I don't know. I just like watching it.
I've had this conversation with Quinn lately because Quinn's been in the main same mindset of no, I have to know everything about this character before I can cosplay them. And it's just I love you so much, but you are a big idiot right now. I love you, Pannon, so much. You're being a big old idiot right now. You don't need to know jack squat about these characters. You think it's cool, you freaking cosplay it.
That is true. We tell that to people all the time, but it is so hard to take your own advice.
It really is. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we've got you're up next, Beefire. What do you got?
Yes. So shoot, what is this thing called? Sorry, I'm trying to remember what it's called, but I essentially found it. So
so cute.
I used to play
That's so cute.
Oh, he's sending pictures. Pannon,
you would
so
kill
cute.
this cosplay, dude.
Oh,
you would absolutely look oh my gosh, I love everything about this.
Yes, that is so your style.
That it has fabric and armored stuff and a cool prop and
look at those buckles. Oh my gosh, those buckles on the dress.
I did not think you were going to say buckles. I was yeah, they look great too.
They do look good. There are other assets on this that are quite full of volume, like the roses. The roses are huge. Yeah. The roses
they really are, aren't they? Anyway, what was your costume, Beefire?
Sweet. So David's actually reminded me of this one. I had buried this in the back of my mind. So I used to play Dota a little bit with Chris and whatnot. And the Phantom Assassin came out with this really cool skin, and I was oh my gosh, I need to make that happen. Ooh. I'm sending you guys a picture. I don't remember the name of the skin. I feel like it was Glitch or something, but it's just got all these lights and stuff. There's no way.
That is so intense, dude. That is
so you, though.
I was about to say the same thing. Just this dark, edgy character, lots of blues, very. Oh yeah, this is 100% Beefire to the T.
And the animation for it, the lights would just it would be so cool to program the lights to just go up and down the body and just it would have been so cool. But it I had drawings of this. I had so many reference images on my computer. I just looked up so many different things to try and figure out if I could do this with lighting and everything, and just no.
I know my limits. It's not this.
Maybe one day, I don't know, but there's a lot of lighting, and I don't know, she just looks so cool, and I just loved how she moved and stuff. I never played as her because I was not that good.
Man.
But She looked dope.
For inspo, if you ever decide to do this, there's a cosplayer on TikTok who's doing this version of Hatsune Miku where it's like clear but lights up in places, and it is so freaking cool. I'm spacing on the cosplayer's name at the moment, but like every part of that costume is light up, and they show the whole process for how it's made, and it's just so inspiring.
Send me info
so cool.
when you remember.
I will.
This
when and
picture,
if I remember,
honestly makes me think that like this is something that Kamui cosplay would do,
right?
Like this is right up Svetlana's like whole alley of dark, gritty characters with light up features, and
I'm like, she'd figure out how to do this, and I'd be like, beautiful, wonderful, you're amazing,
absolutely amazing, yeah. And then I'd say I can definitely hear V-Fire going, I could have made that, I could have done this, I could have definitely done this. Okay, my turn.
Yeah.
2008. I actually just barely like heard the idea of cosplay, and I think it was Bonsai. There may have been another cosplay con nearby, and I was like super into the Hellsing OVA, not just the Hellsing anime, but specifically the OVA, which is so good. It was like still coming out at the time. I remember this.
I remember like when that was.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, man, this Alucard guy, this guy, he's pretty dope. He's really dope. And I would love to do this cosplay, especially the cool, like he bites on the slider of the gun. And like, I was like, oh, that's so metal. I love that so freaking much. And that was one of those things where it's like, that is the edgy, like, blunder years me, right? Like, I think that's one of the reasons that I like put that aside very quickly of like, this is a cool character, but at the same time, when you kind of look at the whole story and whatnot, like it's just kind of grim, and it's not like a great vibe. And like the author isn't a great human being from what I've heard. I could be wrong, and things could have changed. And it's also been, quite some time since he wrote those things. But yeah, he just like, there's a lot of like cool gender identity stuff in there. It's like, oh yeah, in World War II, Dracula was a woman, but it's kind of more for laughs than it's just like this cool character design.
It's unfortunate.
Again, it's been like 20 years, and I could have, my opinions could have changed on this, or like I may be misremembering it. So feel free to correct me. I would love to be wrong about it, but I just remember walking away from it going, oh. So I kind of grew out of that one. I wouldn't say that like it was sensationalized in the media in one way or the other. I just remember going, that might be just a little too edgy for me nowadays. Yeah.
Edgy David.
That was my vibe, man. Back in the day, I was so emo. I didn't have the money to dress emo.
That is the biggest mood. I am so... That's why I am living my life now and like getting all my Hot Topic arm warmers and my oversized trip pants and all that fun stuff.
Now that I'm like exploring like gender fluid stuff and like just buying clothes because I think they're pretty, like it's so weird to be like, well, maybe I want to wear this now, and like I get to, not only do I get to have like my high school me so happy, I get to have this like weird gender moment as well of like, oh, but I get to wear like this cool, cute little skirt or these like nice little like thigh high stockings that I think are just like, they got animal print on them. That's such a wild notion nowadays, right? Like I don't know how to process that.
I'm glad you are, though. That sounds super fun.
It is. All right, Pannon, what else you got?
Okay. So speaking of things also that don't have much canon, this does not have canon at all, but it has very pretty costumes. And I don't know. I've off and on wanted to do things from it for a while, but Sakizo is a popular thing in the cosplay community.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It's literally just pretty artwork from the artist. And the artist will do like the artist, as if I don't know their name is Sakizo. Sakizo will do like themed works on, like, there's like food themed ones, there's like an Alice in Wonderland set, there's like gemstone set, there's like all these different just extravagant, very like rococo's the right word, I think. Maybe not rococo. What's the other one?
I will not know.
Damn. You have now exceeded the lengths of my knowledge.
It's the time period that was very extravagant, and I'm gonna feel like a dummy until I think of it. But I think it starts with an R, but it's not rococo.
Not Renaissance?
No, it's oh my gosh, I'll come back to it.
Okay.
But anyway, they're just like very extravagant looking costumes, and I had like a handful of them on my list. I started a couple of them and never finished. I was going to do the fruit tartlet, the strawberry cake, and the Bordeaux style, which was like a circus one. And I ended up doing none of them because I think my brain just got overwhelmed with how many details and where to start them.
Yeah.
But also I had a hard time like holding passion for it, because there's no canon like to endear the character to me. Mm-hmm. And for me, that's like such a thing that keeps me like excited to wear the costume. Is just I love all the different character stories behind the pretty designs and things like that. And Sakizo, as fun as it could be to construct it, I feel like outside of like competition or like doing it to be a, like, I don't know, like a polished competition piece really, or something to wear to like judging or whatever, I just didn't see like a reason that I was excited about making it. So that just got away from me.
Was it Baroque?
Yes. Baroque. It was that yes. Oh my gosh.
Every time I hear Baroque, I think if it's not Baroque, don't fix it.
See, that's the line that was in my head, but I could not think. My brain went, if it's not Rococo, don't fix it. And I'm like, that's not what it is. What is it?
What Cogsworth says.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Anyway, Mercedes.
Yeah.
Give me another one.
I throw one at you. I'm going to go with a high detail one as well. I even had fabric that I bought for this that I have very slowly over the years pulled pieces from and used for other costumes. But Queen Augusta Vratica from Trinity Blood.
Oh my gosh. I was going to mention a Trinity Blood costume too.
Yeah, she super has gotten away from me. That's another one where like I had a plan, everything planned out, even got so far as buying fabric. I even have a set of clear heels that I could add gold overlay to make the butterfly, because I wanted to do the butterfly dress.
Oh yeah.
And like just ended up like I still love the character, but not enough to like cosplay her anymore. Also, like, getting older and she's a child essentially. Like, I mean, she's not, but she looks like one.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was gonna say, I cosplayed Sora at 30, so
I don't have a baby face. You have a very youthful face, Pannon.
That is kind of you to say, but also it's mostly makeup.
But yeah, I still love the idea of that costume. But I've also seen other people like do it to the extent that I want to see it, and so it's like they've done it. I see it now, you know?
Yeah.
And you know, that's a big thing with me with some cosplays. It's like, you know what, if someone has done it to the level that I wanted, I'm glad they did it, and I will let them have that, and I don't need to build it now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm out of them at this point. Like I could talk about cosplays I'd like to do, but it's just one of those things of like, I'll get to that one eventually. But like,
you should let's like wrap it up on a positive here and talk about some that we want to do.
Yeah.
Okay. This is another one that like nobody is asking for. Okay, I recognize nobody's asking for this, but in the Power Ranger comic books. Yes, I am an adult, and I still read the Power Ranger comic books because I am obsessed.
Dude, you're on a nerd podcast. What are you?
I'm on
what are you
several
apologizing
for? There is an alternate timeline where the Green Ranger, who was given his powers by the bad guy and was a bad guy, there's an alternate timeline where he stays a bad guy and he keeps being the Green Ranger, and he like is very, very powerful, and he like manipulates all the other Power Rangers, and he gives other people Power Ranger powers, and essentially he makes like clone Power Rangers, like not the Rangers themselves, but they get clone powers. Okay, it's very fun. It's very fantastic, and he makes like different color Rangers into different parts of his like royal military, and the Red Ranger becomes like his royal guard. So like think like the Red Guards in Star Wars, right? And they all look very much the same. They've got a long flowing cape with gold on the inside, red on the outside. They've got these pauldrons with the Tyrannosaurus symbol on it, and they've got this giant spear. I absolutely love every aspect of this. It's again based off of an action figure that most of my art is coming from. But, ooh, boy, would I love to do this. A big flowy cape. You get to be a Power Ranger. It's a little bit unique. Not everyone's seen this Power Ranger done before, but it's recognizable. It's right up my alley. I would love to do the Red Power Ranger, like, military piece thing.
That sounds so cool.
Nice. I'll send you guys the image of it.
Yes.
About UV Fire?
I have a couple that I'm hoping don't get away from me.
Okay. Pause for a second, because I did look up Rococo, and that was the word I wanted. I should have trusted myself. Also, that is a very cool Power Ranger.
Thank you.
You should do it.
Oh, he's tight.
Is it tight?
That is so you, too. Like,
thank you. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. But yes, Rococo is late Baroque, so...
so it's part of Baroque.
Gotcha.
Yes. All right. Okay. So yeah, I have a couple that I hope don't get away from me. Such as, Sabriel. I still want to finish that costume. I have a lot of the pieces for it still. Along with just like in general doing like a book cosplay photo shoot. I think that would just be super fun. The Hyperlight Drifter, I did do a version, but I have an ultimate version that I want to work on. Looking forward to that. As well as like my ultimate one that I don't want to get away from me is Samus.
Oh,
nice.
Like yeah, you would kill Samus, dude.
Full suit, lights, movement, like robotics, everything. I want to do that so bad. So one day.
Nice.
I'm not going to let it get away from me.
Those are very good.
I was thinking about how like if I were to do that Karas one, like it has like so many different like rotated soft edges. It's just like how like is there LED ropes or something along those lines? I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is.
There's
but,
EL wire.
Yeah, exactly. And just like maybe when we finally have the F's to give, you and I should like work. You should work on Samus, and I'll work on Karas, and we can then like buy a mile's worth of EL wire because we will need a lot of it.
I am here for it. Let's do it. Okay.
Perfect.
Future plan on some calendar someday, but it will happen.
Someday.
Do it.
That sounds dope.
Gosh, I always have a bunch on my list. But gosh, what have I been on recently that I've been excited about? I really like this game that's by the makers of Danganronpa. I can't remember if I mentioned before. I think it's I can never remember if it's Rain Code or Code Rain. I think it's Code Rain. But it has a side character they're like the co-lead who helps you solve the mysteries, and they're like your little assistant detective. But they are also Shinigami, so only the main character can see them.
Okay.
And I'm staring at the dress right now because I have it finished. But I need to go in and like I found a high-res thing of it, and it has like all these like flowers and stuff on the dress that are in like the dress is black and the flowers are in like a very, very, very dark gray that I did not notice because I just looked at it and went, oh, it's black. And now I'm like, oh, there's all these details I missed. So now I'm
like, oops,
putting it aside for the moment so I can reevaluate. But like the dress is done. Just has also a massive wig and a lot of accessories and probably one of the biggest bows I've ever seen.
Oh, I love this for you. I'm just like, that legit sounds so cool.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that one, and I think I will definitely finish it before the end of the year. That is my goal.
That's a good goal. I like this a lot for you.
The end of this year?
I'm hoping to bring it to ALA.
All right. Heck yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, cute.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't
oh my gosh,
cute?
yes.
I think my biggest concern is if a wig will get here in time. So
that looks like a migraine waiting to happen, to be honest, though.
Yeah.
The what are those braids on both sides? That's as tall. That's as long as she is tall. That's insane.
And
if anyone's going to be able to do it, it's Penance. So like.
Oh, look at that progress picture.
But the dress that's not even the finished one, but the dress is done. So yay.
Oh, that's gonna be so cool. I can't wait to see you just knock that out of the park.
Hi.
Well, we've been up, we've been down, we've been all around, and I think it's time to end with something scary.
You mean a
horror stories? Spooky, spooky, spooky.
I do.
This one, it comes from our Discord, our Cosplay Horror Story channel, just dedicated to grieving the cosplays that we have lost hours and hours and hours to. And speaking of, wigs that are intense, this one comes from Chantant. I think is Chantant? Chantant? I'm sorry if I'm butchering that, Chantant. I'm going to pronounce it differently every time that I read it. So Chantant writes, ongoing horror story, making a Goldilocks cosplay from PIB, The Last Wish. If you know her character, you know she has 2 huge hair buns made of curly hair. I've never worked with wigs before. I've never cut hair before, but it'll be fine. With like 8 eyes in there. It is not fine. It is a mess of wig wefts and hot glue and hairspray on top of foam balls. But at least I'm learning and still having fun. That is a big old mood, and I'm glad that you're still having fun. That is a hard thing to keep motivated through, especially when you're like out of your depth. So you have our support. I hope it was all done. Because that was back in September. But good luck with the wig wefts.
Very good. Very
nice. Good. I love that movie so much.
I don't know it. Is it good? What am I missing out on? Oh, Puss in Boots. That's what it means. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, now I'm going to look it up because I don't.
Puss in Boots, The Last Wish. It's so good. Like, I don't want to overhype it, but I watched it.
How like Shrek 2 was really good, and then there were no other Shrek movies after that?
No. There was a 4th, but they skipped 3 for some reason. Like,
okay.
Yeah. I don't know why they skipped 3, but
but Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is like, it takes you back to the days of Shrek 2.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I might check it out.
The storytelling and the art that they did with it was really well done.
Yeah.
I actually use it for my color theory classes now, so...
These buns are bigger than her head. What the heck, you guys? Why would you do this to yourself, Shantan? I don't understand. Why hurt yourself like this? Why?
Because...
You know why. You know why.
I know why. Same reason I do it as well. I understand.
Well, if our listeners at home want to tell us why and what they're working on, or have a horror story of maybe one that got away from you, you can do that a number of ways. The first is our email, which is cosplaystitchandseam@gmail.com, or
go to the website cosplaystitchandseam.com and fill out our contact form there, or
go to the Facebook page. Tell us what you're working on. Tell us your horror stories. Tell us if I'm pronouncing Shantan right. I'm probably not. While you're on the internet, if you want to help out the show, we would greatly appreciate it. Any help is always good help. Share the podcast with a friend. That's a great way. It is free. It takes just a little bit of time, and we appreciate it so much. We would love to know like which episode you're sharing with your friends, because there's almost 200 of them. And since we're here 200 episodes, we're going to be doing a live stream. Keep that in mind. We've got a couple more episodes to go, but we're very excited about it, and we are excited to see what comes of it. While also, if you want to continue supporting the show, leave a review wherever you can. I see we've got 4.9 rating on Spotify. That is amazing. Thank you so much, everybody who's left a 5-star review. For the one person who's left 4-star, fair. I don't know if they left 4 stars.
Thank you also.
But yes, thank you also. I'm just off the hinges today. I apologize. And of course, we do have a Patreon, patreon.com/cosplaystitch. Some of the amazing people that we need to thank are Misty Lee, Jack S, Cynthia Eve, Starfetcher, Troth Kaz, Lydia, Yggdrasil, Dr. Steggy, Cynics, Hot Riku, Renamira, Jazzy Kofed, Jaguar Quinn, Gloria Shu, Sudi, and Silver Deeds.
Thank you guys. That's awesome. Thanks as always to Macee Roberts for the use of her music as our theme song, and to David Jeffress for Faye's amazing editing. How are your podcasts going, David?
They are going so stinking great. Speaking of milestone episodes, Comic Trades Monthly is hitting 100 episodes, and we are doing a Hot Ones challenge, 5 questions each. And we're gonna eat hot wings. I'm gonna hate every minute of it. But we're gonna ask each other 5 questions each, 10 different heats. We're not gonna go to the levels of like da bomb, but we're gonna get pretty hot, and we're very, very excited. So if you want to send some love over to that podcast, it would be greatly appreciated for 100 episodes. Last Voice, it's working. We've got a few episodes edited and ready to go. I'm just waiting for a few more before I post them. But we're getting there. We're getting there. Definitely be there before the end of the year, he says, without a lot of faith in his own words, and misgenders himself because he's still not used to his own pronouns.
Oh,
it's good. It's good. We still love you.
Thank you.
I totally blanked on finding a pun. Oh my god, I got so like excited about the episode and like looking up old stuff that I can't even do one now. I was like, I fumbled, I punbled. No, that doesn't work. You can't.
It got away from you.
It got away from me.